I started riding a two-wheeler when I was 3, and have always loved riding. I thought it would be interesting to look into the history of the bicycle and its effects on our world. Bikes were invented as an affordable and alternative form of transportation. The first used bicycle was made by Baron Karl von Drais in Germany in 1817. He later patented his design in 1818. Here is a timeline of the basic progression of the bicycle. In 1818 was the Dracaine model. In 1830, the two-wheeled velocipede was made. In 1860, the pedal bicycle was invented. In 1870, the high-wheel bicycle, or penny farthing, was developed. In 1885, the safety bicycle was invented. In the 1960s, racing bikes came along. In the mid-1970s, the modern mountain bike was invented. Dracaine. Invented by Karl von Drais in Germany, this bike was almost made entirely of wood. It was nicknamed the dandy horse as well as a hobby horse. It was a good substitute for a real horse, and it was built sort of like a run bike. Two-wheeled velocipede. Invented by Thomas McCall in Scotland in 1830, unlike the Dracaine, more run bike style, the two-wheeled velocipede used rods and levers to rotate the back wheel. Pedal bicycle. Invented by Pierre Michaud in Paris, 1860. This was the first bike to have pedals attached to the front wheel. It was known for its rigid ride. Penny farthing. Invented by Eugène Mayer in Paris in 1869. The idea is that a larger front wheel would provide more distance for each pedal rotation. Safety bicycle. After many incidents on the penny farthing, the safety bicycle became popular in the 1880s. It had same-size wheels, similar to bicycles today. Racing bike. Invented in the 1960s, the racing bike was designed with handbrakes rather than pedal brakes, a 3-speed hub, and narrow tires. It was made for going fast on the streets and started a new recreational sport of bike racing. Mountain bike. Invented in the 1970s and designed specifically for trails. There are many different types. Most have front suspension and many have full frame suspension. There are many mountain bike races held year-round. There are also many designated trails to ride. There are a few types of mountain bikes. Cross-country bikes are a better design for going uphill. They are lighter and usually hardtail, with only shocks at the front. Trail bikes are pretty good at going uphill, but are designed to make the downhills easier. They are hardtail or full suspension. Enduro bikes are good at climbing up hills, but are a great smooth ride for enjoying the downhill, with a strong frame. Downhill mountain bikes are designed for going downhill, and they won't work very well going uphill. It would have to be carried or have a lift up to the top. These bikes are really strong with specifically designed suspension to handle the bumps and are heavy and expensive. Like the mountain bikes, there are many types of road and pavement bikes. We will cycle through the photos to show you. Race, city, cruiser, recumbent, road, touring, BMX, and tandem. The bicycle has had an impact around the world. It had a positive impact on the environment. There are health benefits to the cyclist. It is an affordable form of transportation. It gave women mobility and freedom. It affected fashion. It allowed the ability for people to travel further and socialize easier than on foot. The cost of the bicycle today ranges from about $200 for a department store bike, which won't last long and is unreliable, but you can pay in the thousands for a high-end durable bike. If you go back to the 1860s and 1870s when bikes were first sold, a bike was around $125 when a sewing machine was about $13. There are a lot of strange bikes in the world. Here are a few. Tall bikes. These bikes are old bikes that have been welded and fit together to become really tall. Unicycles. Unicycles are a strange kind of bike because not only do you have to balance sideways, but you have to balance front to back, thanks to the one wheel. Giraffe unicycles. These bikes are just unicycles that are taller than usual. Some are 4 to 6 to even 10 feet tall. Swing bikes. These bikes not only rotate at the handlebars, but also rotate at the seat area so you can swing out back and as you go around corners. Tandem bikes. These bikes are extra long with 2 saddles, 2 handlebars, and 2 sets of pedals for riding double. Sideways bikes. These bikes are cool because you can rotate both the front and the back wheel and are pedaling facing 90 degrees to the direction you are going. There are a few reasons that bikes have had trouble getting popular. Bikes were heavy and awkward to start, with no cushioning. The rider had to steer and pedal the same front wheel, so they needed a lot of strength and coordination. The original versions were dangerous to ride with terrible brakes. Today there are issues with biking on sidewalks and getting in the way of pedestrians. Reasons that help the bike succeed is that they are a relatively inexpensive, non-polluting way to move around. Bicycling had a positive effect on women. They gained more freedom since they could go when and where they wanted on their own, gaining more equality with men. They could take care of themselves and didn't need a chaperone. It also influenced the view of clothing, as adjustments to their outfits had to be made so they could ride. The environmental impacts of the bicycle are that they don't make so much noise. They take up little space and don't need fuel. They take a lot less energy to make than a car does. They don't require toxic batteries or motor oil, and they reduce traffic. There are many benefits to biking. It can improve your posture and balance. It lowers your blood pressure and increases your energy. It increases your flexibility and muscle strength. It lowers your stress levels. There are also some dangers to biking. You could get hit by a car or fall and get injured. It can slow your breathing. You can actually cause excessive pressure on your lower regions and joints. You can lose too much weight if you did too much of this aerobic activity. The top 3 places in the world where bikes are most used are 3rd, Germany, 2nd, Denmark, and 1st, the Netherlands. The Netherlands have 16,652,800 people, and 16,500,000 of them are cyclists, so 99.1% of them. A lot of people have become famous with their skills on the bicycle. Here are a few of my current favorites. Danny McCaskill is a trials mountain biker from Scotland who comes up with amazing ways to ride the street and natural terrain. Brandon Semenak is a Canadian freestyle mountain biker who won a silver at the X Games in 2013. He also won the Red Bull Joyride in 2011, 2013, 2014, and 2015. Cameron Zink is an American freestyle mountain biker. He won the Red Bull Rampage in 2010. To win, he did a 360 on a 40-foot drop. The bicycle has come a long way. Here are some current technologies that I think are cool. The dropper post is a hydraulic seat post that lifts with the push of a button. They are similar to an office chair, so when you push the button, the seat will rise. If you push the button with weight on it, it drops down. Pedal assist is a system with an electronic motor, so when you pedal, it also outputs power to the motor, making you go really fast up the hills. Bike packing is a system that puts a lot of different carrying bags around your whole bike so you can go on tenting trips and carry anything you need. In summary, bikes have come a long way. There are so many types to choose from. They are one of my favorite modes of transportation, so learning more about how they progressed from 1817 to today was enjoyable.